YouTube people, is your girl Solid Gold, and we're back with our first story time. This is actually a story time that's been you guys put me into this. I had to, because if you do follow me on my Instagram, you would know that I've spoken about this story on my live. We have had multiple conversations. You guys know the guy I'm gonna be talking about. You know, you guys have the scoop on everything that's been happening with this guy that I've recently met. But since a lot of people haven't been on the live, I had to re-record the whole situation so like a few of you could, you know, kind of catch up. But today, before I start off, I'll be drinking my Smirnoff, although I'm not that girl though. Don't try me like that. I'm not what do you call it? What do you call these people that drink alcohol and get paid for that shit? I'm not that person. But we'll be having Smirnoff, the strawberry flavor, and a flavored Red Bull. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, because this story is not the normal one. Let's keep it at it. It's not the normal one. So I'm gonna start off with for the people that don't follow me, my Instagram handle is written down below. It will pop up on the screen countless times in the story time. So I have met this nigga on the 21st, right, of last month. I met this nigga at the hospital where we work, me and my mom. So what had happened is, when I walked in the hospital, because I was in the parking lot waiting for my mom to get off and give me the key to sit in the car and wait for her like usual, I decided to go back into the hospital to actually go get the key from her. And that's when I met this nigga. So on the way in, I saw him walk in, but my attention wasn't there because he was just like rushing in and stuff like that. So he just went in. But on my way out, he was also on his way out. He came out of the first elevator next to the door. So he came out and we met. So he was like, hey. I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, good. And I asked him like, you need help? And he's like,
oh no, I just see you, just wanted to greet and probably get your name if you'd like, but if you don't like, it's fine, I won't force you.
I said, okay, no, my name is Grace, Trisha, and I work here and stuff like that. I just went to get the key. So he asked me, oh, you're on your way home? Can I take you home? And I'm like, no. I don't go home with people I don't know, right? And he was like, oh no, I respect that. I respect that. I just wanted to, I just didn't want you to take like an Uber home and stuff like that. And I was like, even if I was supposed to take one, I wouldn't have went with you though. Stranger danger. So I was like, he was like, oh yeah, so I asked him, you don't need help. What did you come do at the hospital? He said, oh no, I always have like a scheduled full test that I come do, plus my HIV test. So today I came to do my HIV test, and I was like, oh, that's good. That's good. That's like that's a green take. And then he was like, yeah, so I came to do that. So I was like, okay, fine. I work here, that's why I'm here, like I said. And he was like, okay, I got that. And he was like, if you mind, can I have your number and we could probably like go out for dinner or something? And I was like, definitely, take my number, you know, take my number. Because the nigga's beard is grown as a good man's apart. It's not those beards that Namibia, Angola, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya. No, it's Africa. When I speak about Africa, it's a full-grown beard, not those patchy things you guys fall in love with. No, guys, a full-grown beard. I could see myself leaning on that beard, sitting on that beard. I could see myself braiding that beard, bro. I could see myself doing so many freaking things with that beard, though. Mind you, I was already imagining things, just looking at, you know how we women are when we look at men and we like this man. We start imagining how we look standing next to them and stuff like that. And he's like nice and tall and stuff. And I was just like, child, whose child are you? But anyway, so we got each other's numbers and started talking. We spoke. I was at work the Friday, the Wednesday actually. I went home because I actually had to pick up stuff that day, that's why. But I did the insulin. I was at the hospital the whole time. Fine, mind you, this nigga offered to take me home. I didn't want. Yeah, I didn't want. Not like I have a car, but I didn't want because my mom would be like, but anyway, we spoke on the phone for like 3 hours straight. The nigga held the conversation down. Already that's another tick. 2 ticks here, 2 ticks. That's already another tick. You understand? Green tick. He held the conversation down. He was like, I just feel like since we got to know each other, you got to see that I'm real. I got to see that you're real. At least it's not an online thing. So let me take you out on a date, you know, and stuff like that. And I was like, nigga, I'm down for that. and stuff like that. So he was like, I live 20 minutes away home from the hospital, so I could come get you. Where do you live? And I was like, yeah, I live in Gig Harbor. Mind you, Gig Harbor is in town. From my workplace to my house is like a 50-minute drive. Imagine he's making the effort to drive 20 minutes to my job and drive 50 minutes from my workplace to my house for me to come change, and then I could go back with it. And he was like, if we come back together, we can go out, or you can come to my place, see my place, you know, and stuff like that. And we can vibe, have conversation. If you, the moment you feel uncomfortable, I can take you home at any time. If you don't feel like driving with me back home because you're uncomfortable, I could call you an Uber. I'll pay for the Uber. The nigga was just giving me all the options to actually feel comfortable. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I like him, you know. And he was so kind and stuff to me. And, you know, I was just vibing with this nigga. Mind you, we went and he made me feel so comfortable. I took my pipe with him. I was just smoking the whole time. I was smoking. I was having fun. I was drinking, you know, and talking to this guy. And he really made me feel comfortable. I will not lie. I liked him. I liked him, guys. I liked him. I liked him. Fine. Mind you, that's the day we went to his house, right? Because it was also a bit chilly. So going to the water wasn't really like an option because Jeleken is a near coat. So we went to his place, bro. The nigga has like marble floor. Do you know how much is marble floor? Marble, guys. A deal. It's not even a joke. That's expensive floor on its own. His house is white. Is beautiful. Inside out. It's beautiful. It's candles. It's shit like that. It's just, bruh. So we took a tour around the house and he showed me like, this city is a very dangerous city and stuff like this. That's why people have guns and stuff. I understand people have guns because my dad have guns too all over the house. So he has guns like everywhere. But I wasn't like my mind wasn't really at that like, oh, why does he have guns in such stupid places like the laundry room and stuff like that? You know, it's like someone that calculated his steps. And I was like, but my mind wasn't there at the time. I was just like, okay, you got guns to protect yourself, fine, because you got a fine house. You probably have a lot of money. And the nigga was like, yeah, you know, I got guns. I got to protect myself and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So he showed me his room, how his room is so beautiful. And he showed me this fanny pad, ne? A fanny pad or fanny pad or fanny bag, whatever you guys call it. And that's where his personal gun stays in. He keeps his personal gun there, so when he goes out with that one, you understand, that bag. So when you see that bag, you see the gun, because he's going out to protect himself. I was like, it's fine. He even offered like, let me take you for gun training. This is a regular city. You live in the state of Washington. You gotta protect yourself because the people here are wild. And I was like, I'm not trying to do that, but I have to do it because I gotta protect myself, you know. Mind you, Owens, after that was done, we did not kiss, we did not do anything. He was very respectful. He did not give me a vibe of, yeah, I want to just dick you down or I just want to eat you out or whatnot. He was just like very okay. And then I came home and we was talking and stuff like that. Mind you, I already have my own flat. For the ones that, as I've said, if you follow me, you know that I moved out of my parents' house, right? And I was living in my own flat. It's also just to see how independent I could be. I think there was also a test for my parents to see what I could pull off if I'm not in their sight. So I had invited him over to my house. Mind you, that day I went live and I told everyone like, guys, I'm inviting this guy over. I want you guys to tell me what to cook for him because I cannot cook. This guy is so beautiful. He's clean, got white teeth. He's so broad here. The shoulders are so big, you know, and stuff like that. He is someone that can just pick me up with one hand and be like, baby, what's about to happen? Like, tell me, you know. But that did not happen. And then this nigga came over to my place and he came over. But before he came over, because I was live smoking my pipe, trying to tell my followers what's going on, I called him and I was like, oh, I couldn't cook. Because I was just giving a lame excuse, by the way. I was like, yeah, I couldn't cook because I had stuff to type for work. So I'll probably just like order in or try to cook something up. And he was like, oh no, baby, don't cook. Do not cook. Don't touch the pots. I'm on my way. What do you want me to cook? And I was like, no, what do you want to cook since you offering to cook? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna make a spaghetti with shrimps and stuff. So tell me what's not in your fridge so I could bring it with. And I'm like, damn, you are my man's. You know, that was my thing. Let's not forget, that's a green tea, extra green tea. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have shrimps, but I have the meats you want to put in and stuff like that if you do. And he's like, okay. So he walks up to my place with a bottle of wine. Smelling good as always. Nice suit and tie. Dreads is an abola and gesit smaak. Kan net optel. Owens! Hi guys, no, that was a reality. So the guy got me fucked up. He got me falling for him. He had me falling for him 100%. So he comes to my stove and he's like, baby girl, get out of my kitchen. I'm like, it's your kitchen now. It's your kitchen now. Okay? And it's like, when I cook, I love to be alone. Mind you, my flat is like, this is like the sitting room. That is like, that side is the kitchen, but there's like a space. Whoever is in the kitchen, I can see them when I'm sitting in my small living room, you know? So I was like smoking my pipe and I'm just looking at this being all slick, and he's like, baby girl, wait, where do you keep your pots? I'm like, down there, baby. It's just down there. Down there. I got smell and flow of crumb. But that's what happened. And he was cooking, and as he's cooking, he's talking to me. And as he's talking to me, my mind and my body and my mind is preparing for a night. That's what my mind is, my body and my mind is preparing, because we know as women, let's be honest, our bodies, when we know what we want, our bodies prepare itself from the inside of the say as dinner no dinner rack and the dinner rack always. You know best. So let's not even deny here, because it's all honesty when it comes to my pages. You guys know I don't sugarcoat shit. So that's what happened. Mind you, that's what happened. And he was cooking for me, you know, and stuff like that. And we ate, and the food was so good. He did not even, I thought he would say, can I sleep over because it's late, baby girl? He was not even trying to do that. He was like, we already had our conversation. We ate, and I was busy falling in love with this nigga. And he was like, oh, I got to go because, baby girl, I got work tomorrow. I have to work. But if you want to see me more often, we could arrange for that. And I was like, yeah, we probably should arrange the whole fucking 7 days a week, 360 days a year kind of thing. So he went home, and I was just there falling for this nigga, talking to him on the phone for hours. So the next day when I went live, after telling my viewers like how my day was, he brought me lunch. Just like that. He was just like, oh, I'm in your location, I'm picking up some teriyaki for myself for lunch. Do you want something? Did you eat lunch? I'm like, no, I didn't have anything yet. And he's like, oh, can I bring you something? And I'm like, yeah, if you don't mind. I wouldn't say no. And he bring me some teriyaki. He brought me some teriyaki. I ate and stuff, but he just popped in and popped out, and he was like, if you want me to come over, I could come over. Mind you, I like this guy, so I'm listening to everything he's telling me, you know. So on this other day, he's like, oh, can he come over? And I'm like, yeah, you can come over. I actually want you to come over because I'm bored. And he's like, okay, can I bring my game with? Because I want to play like game. Because I told him I might go live. And he was like, oh, what will I be doing for 2-3 hours? I was like, anything you want to do. You could sit and watch me go live or whatever and stuff like that. And he was like, I just think I should bring over my game then, and then I can play my game. And he's like, yeah, because he asked me, does your TV connect? I said, yes, it does connect. Just come, try out what you can try out here. And he came and he's playing, but the manner way he spilled the game, he's like, bitch move. No, just leave it there, I'ma get it. Just move, bitch, move. And I'm like, he's giving me that vibe. He's giving me that gay vibe. And I'm just like, what's going on out here? So I decided to cook that evening because I knew damn well he's sleeping over. I mean, he brought his game. 2K. So I was just like, okay. So I was cooking. And then his homeboy asked him on that, because it's like a live. So he has this headphone with this thing, but I can hear what they're talking about. And then he's like, the homeboy is like, when last did you see your kids? And I'm like, he did tell me he has a kid. That's another story for another day also. He did tell me he has a daughter. She's 9 years old and stuff like that. And he said last week Friday, but I'm like, last week Friday we was together. But okay, come on, back. And 2 Friday was your homeboy. Oh, when last did you see your kid? And they were conversating and stuff like that. And I was just like, mind you, last week we were together. So I'm just wondering, when the fuck did you see your kids? If you're telling your homeboy you saw them last week, are you even supporting your kid? I was just like, it's a sad. It's a minute begin to say, Grace. Time deal. Something's not right. Why would he lie to his own boy and he's saying no, he's on a game with one of his best friends? I'm just like, no, we're about to investigate. So here the guy is just like, I saw my kids last week. I'm not a deadbeat dad and whatnot and stuff like that. But then when me and him was having the conversation after I've cooked, we played this game, I've went live and we're sitting and we're eating. I'm like, oh, when are you gonna watch your kid? When are you gonna see your kids again? And he's like, this Friday. And I'm like, oh, they're about to come all the way from Louisiana. He's like, oh no, they just stay 20 minutes away. Mind you, the nigga said the kids live in Louisiana. The kids live in Louisiana with their mom. Now I'm like, how are they 20 minutes away when me and you just met a week and a half ago and you told me your kids live in Louisiana with their mom? How are they 20 minutes away all of fucking sudden? And he's like, oh, they moved. And I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me about it? And he's just like, he started getting defensive. And he's like, oh, what does my kids have to do with you? Why do you care about where my kids are at? Why do you care about my kids' location? My kids can't travel now or what? Why is that a problem for you? And I'm like, why are you getting defensive? Mind you, bitch, I'm a Pisces. I've been through these motherfucking things before. Don't play with me because this is where my specialty falls in, nigga. So I was like, why you being defensive though? And he's like, no, what my kid's location got to do with you? And I'm like, no, I'm just asking you a dead big question. I'm not coming at you anyway. I'm not suggesting anything. I just want to know why a week ago your kids was in Louisiana staying with their mom in a house that you left them in, that you paid off fully, and now they live 20 minutes away. And he's like, so I'm supposed to update you about everything that happened with my kid. Are you going to start supporting them? I'm like, bruh, why are you going so far? I just asked you one question. You're telling me a whole lot of things about supporting your kid. I'm supposed to be your so-called supposed to be girlfriend. Why are you trying to be funny to me? And he just started acting off and I was like, listen here. How would you feel I tell you, right, that my ex probably, let me say, has my clothes and I want to get my clothes back, but he lives in Africa, ne? And then when you are like, oh, did your ex send your clothes back? And you're like, oh no, he just lives 20 minutes away, I'll go get the clothes. You'll be like, that's how funny the situation was to me. So I was just like, I don't have a problem with where your kids are or your baby mama is. You understand? I don't have a problem with that. And he's like, oh yeah, actually, up our website, unless you click back, then it's gonna go back to the page where you were. But if you leave it, it's gonna create countless ads and countless pages. That's how he was acting. He was like, oh, you thought now I let my baby mama come out here because I want to get back with her? How could you be so narrow-minded? And I'm like, the fuck, boy? How did we get to that? I just asked you one question. One fucking question. You coming to me with, you want to get back with your baby mama stories? He's ready over me, yeah, and he's just, he had it on with me. And I'm like, okay. First of all, last week, nigga, you told me that your kids live with a baby mama live in Louisiana. That is a 3, 4, 5 day drive all the way here. Now you're telling me your kids live 20 minutes away. Yeah, you don't know what's happening in my life. And I'm like, oh, but you want to date me, but you don't want to tell me what's happening in your life. Yeah, I haven't seen my kids for 2 years. And the baby mama is keeping them away from me and whatnot. And I'm like, first of all, in my head right now, it's clear and peaceful. No smoke, no fire. But your story is not adding up. I am the law, police station. Your story is not adding up, Owens. It's not adding up. What's happening? And he's telling me, yeah, if I think he's lying, it's okay and whatnot. And I was just like, okay. Me, I'm not going to argue. Once I sense a lie, If you can lie to me about small things, ne, and jy raak so defensive, it means all the big things that you're not supposed to lie to me about, you are lying. Jy lieg. Ek was in baie verhoudings. Ek is nie 'n fucking dominancy. Ek was in baie verhoudings. En ek was in verhoudings met Windhoekse manne. Ken hulle hoe gevaarlik? Hulle ken nie hoe gevaarlik is Windhoekse manne nie, nee. Die ouens nice sisters. So asseblief. Ek moet nie by my met die neirie kom. Asseblief, nie by my kom met die neirie. So I was just like, okay. Dus steek ek maar my kop toe, rook ek maar groot trekkers, net ek. Van ek, me, I'm trying to calm myself because he feels he's triggered because I asked a question about his kids. I'm feeling triggered because he's lying to me. You understand? It gives me all the reason to feel triggered. So at the end of the day, I was just like, it's fine. Everyone's training. So I was like, okay, fine. It's okay. Hey, friend from me, yeah, should I go home? I was like, I feel like it's gonna be better. Fine. Do you want baby dear? Now that my copper has taken, he goes to the door. I hear the door open. And I hear the door close again. And he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna leave. We're gonna sort this out because I cannot leave or sleep at night knowing that you're not my girl. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, because we cannot be fighting about small shit and stuff. This nigga is bipolar. That's already one thing I noticed. Because he be arguing with me 1 minute, and 1 minute he's like, I don't want to lose my girl. And I'm like, I'm not yet your girl. I'm not yet your girl. I was just someone you were supposed to give good dick to. I'm just someone that you were supposed to just give honest loving. But now you are lying to me. Why are you being weird to me? But okay. To say from global must not play. For Shanji in the kastige verhouding. And I was just like, I am man. I went on my laptop. I was busy with random things. I went to shower and stuff like that. He was just there begging me to talk, sitting on the couch watching a movie. He was doing the most, right? Doing the most. Later on, he's talking to me and he's like, yeah, we're gonna fix this relationship and stuff like that. We can't be arguing about stuff like that. If this is the biggest thing we can argue about, then it's fine. I'll argue about it with you. But if this cannot like tear us apart and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, fine. The nigga is getting all defensive and stuff. He's like bipolar. He's arguing with me heavy 1 minute. The next he's like, okay, we're gonna fix the relationship. And then the next he's arguing with me again heavy, and I'm like,
I realized that this is an accident.
Nigga. Fine. He was like, yeah, he's quickly gonna step out to go get something, but he's coming back. I said, okay, fine. This is where shit got real. This nigga goes. He did not tell me initially out of his mouth. He didn't say I'm going home. He just said I'm going to pick up something. I'm coming back. After talking to me and me not answering him, he's getting frustrated. So he went. He came back. When he came, he was in a fanny bag or fanny bag, whatever you guys call it. And in my mind, I'm on the bed seated. The blanket is halfway over my knees. I just finished with my stuff. I'm just like, okay, the nigga came back. I'm like, in my mind, I'm looking at that fanny bag or fanny bag, whatever, and I'm just like, where did I see that thing? Is it mine or how did I see it? In my head, I'm just like, I saw this thing somewhere, man, but I don't remember where exactly. And I'm thinking, and he's talking to me, and he's like, we're gonna fix this relationship, right? And I'm just like, please, I don't have time. If you're not about to tell me the truth, please don't start up arguments and stuff. That's what I keep telling him. But in my mind, what I'm thinking is, where did I see that fanny pen gun? And I shop away. Then it hit me. That is the place where his personal gun stays. I was like, that minute, he did not physically show me the gun. No. He did not physically show me the gun. No. But I know that fanny pack where I saw it is in his house, and he clearly told me in his room, this is where I keep my personal gun. So when I go out, I have this because it's wild out here. You know, and I come from a location where it's very wild and stuff like that. That's what he told me. That's how Louisiana is. It's wild. And I'm coming to Washington, having to meet all these wannabe niggas. They're trying to pull off some stupid shit. He needs to protect himself. But the way his guns are placed in the house, guys, it's like someone that calculated his steps, like, oh, when the gun is pointing like this, I'm gonna roll over and get a gun here and be like, Papa. It's like the way the guns are placed, it's too many guns in too many places. It's not like he was aiming only 5 guns. No. He had a gun in the laundry room. Why is your gun in the laundry room up beneath the basins, the counter, the basin? I'm like, the only person that can reach for that gun is someone that's on the floor. Meaning, ne, Owens, I can see Mali, this person calculated his steps. As in, oh, when he's coming that way, I can slide over here, get that gun, and I'll be like, Papa. That's what, because I'm like, why is your guns not in leveled places where a standing person can just reach for it and get it? It's like here and that is in and that is in. Who are you running from? Because I don't want to date someone whose job means they're running from the police or running from crooks, because I'm not going to be that girlfriend who's going to be there through thick and thin and it will look hard for bullets. And I don't want, I cannot run. Already I cannot run. I can't. For the ones that know me know I cannot run. So please, I'm trying to do things in a very sophisticated way here. And then I remembered and I was like, yo, I did not want to ask questions. Immediately, a lot of things started hitting me. It's just like, psycho, I was just like, at this point, whatever I say, I don't say the wrong things at the wrong time. I don't say no. But my biggest fear was if he says he wants to have sex with me. Mind you, in my head already, the guy has the fanny pack where his personal gun stays. His gun is here. He's like, yeah, we're gonna fix the relationship, and I'm like, we can fix the relationship, but you gotta be honest with me, baby. I'm even adding baby so that the guy can calm his fucking ass down, because I'm not trying to get boomed at. I don't. I got a pretty face for that shit. I don't want. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna fix the relationship. We just gotta find a way around it. And I'm like, what way around it? What way? Because I want to talk to you. I'm even like having but if you were there, you would see the conversation I'm having with this guy. It's not making sense. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand why he would go home, get a gun, and come to me. Me, I'm not in this patient killing. I'm not trying to do those things. That's a stunt I'm not trying to pull. So I was here telling this guy we can probably work our way around the situation and, you know, try to get on the same term. But I wasn't trying to mention the gun because I don't know how much confused this nigga can still get, because him getting his gun is him being confused, not right in the motherfucking head. So I'm just like, okay, nigga, do what you got to do. Me thinking, okay, fine. And he was like, yeah, I'm tired. Can I lay down with you? I wasn't even trying to say no. I was just trying to say, okay. Actually, what I said was, okay, you can lay here. Mind you, I'm sitting on the bed. I'm sitting on the bed laid down. Right? I'm sitting on the bed laid down half. With the covers, the throw is halfway on my waist. Right? And so he laid here. And I started playing with his dreads, you know. I started playing with his dreads. And I was just playing with it so he could fall asleep. But he did not even take off the fanny pack. Mind you, he did not take off the fanny pack. He just kept it on him because it was like here, right here. So he laid down, he put it here, and he laid on it. But he was laying here on my side. So I was playing with his hair, right? And we was talking and this, I don't want to argue with you about silly stuff. Like, I really want to just be with you, you know? Like, because when people aren't together, they do stupid stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, babe, like, I really don't also want to argue with you about stupid stuff. I really got to know you, and I like your personality. I like who you are. I'm just saying things that's already in my head, you know? But I'm trying to understand still why you got a gun in my house. Why are you doing that though? And yeah, fast forward, I'm playing with his hair, you know, and he falls asleep. But I'm not falling asleep because I'm just waiting for the moment. What was really scary to me is if this guy says, yeah, I want to have sex with you right now, and I say no, what's going to happen? Already the gun is there for him to make stupid decisions. I'm just like, what's going to happen if I say no? I'm not in my right state of mind to have sex with you. Would I get a bullet in my head or in my leg or in my butt? What would have happened? You know? So I was just like, that is the scary part for me. That's the part that was really like, it's a grief. That was what I was thinking, you know? And I was just scared. You know, at first when I clicked the way I saw the bag, I was like, yo, brah. And but when he came to lay next to me, I was just like feeling up on his hair, you know, trying to retwist it and stuff like that. He fell asleep in the morning. He woke up and he was like, he's gonna go home so he can take a bath and stuff. And he was like, yeah, he's gonna come back so we can talk. Well, while we both like lightheaded and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because he didn't have clothes with me. Thank God he didn't have clothes there by my place. And I was just like, yeah. So he was like, yeah, what are you gonna do now? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna like vacuum a bit, cook up something, and shower and just watch TV. He was like, oh, you're gonna wait for me to come back? I was like, yeah. That's all I gotta do, basically. I'm not really even busy. There's nothing to do. And he's like, okay. So he's like with his fanny pad and he went. So when he got out the door, guys, when I heard that guy's car start, but he did what? Owens, do you know what, man? I ran to my room. I started packing like someone that's getting chased out. I packed my clothes. I even have I will put a picture right here. This picture, it's a snap actually of how I came to my mom's house like I was chased out or something. I came here with the throw that was on my bed, the one I covered myself with. I came with that one. I put clothes in a bag, in a small bag, right? I put clothes in a small bag. I took my makeup kit, the small one that I have, and I came. Bayafana, the time I'm doing this, Uber to come, because mind you, it's a walkable distance from where my mom is and where I lived, but it's a bit far. It's like a mile. But you can walk if you're someone that walks or wants to walk. You can walk. But who would want to do that? So I called an Uber and I came here. I came here, you know. And then that was like 11. No, that was like around 10 the time I came here. Around 11:30 is the time he calls me. And he's like, where you at? And I'm like, oh, I'm not home. I quickly went to my mom's place. Mind you, I'm shivering for my life. I'm just like, Owens, again, but I know if I was rejected and I was like, yeah, get out of my fucking house, I would have probably gotten hurt. It may not have been with a gun, but he could have done something. I don't know. Maybe this guy is also just tired of getting hurt and he's just like, I don't know what's happening in his head. I don't want to know. And I'm just like, okay. This nigga calls me at 11:30 and he's like, yeah, where are you? I'm like, I'm at my mom's place because I'm trying to prepare. Mind you, it's my mom's birthday week. And I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to prepare. And that was like on a Wednesday, right? I remember that was on a Wednesday. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to prepare for my mom's birthday. And he's like, oh, but you knew I was supposed to come over and stuff like that. Just like get back so we can talk because we have a lot to talk about. And I was like, I'm busy right now and I'm not coming back. I probably might be back at 6. He's like, oh, you see the time now? It's 11. It's past 11. So you're coming back at 6. And I'm like, yeah, probably. And he's like, don't say probably, you gotta come back. It's best you come back now because we gotta talk. We have a lot to talk about. And I'm like, who are you trying to force to come back? Because I'm clearly busy with my mom's birthday. Why are you trying to force me though? Why are you forcing me? And he's like, you know, we got a lot of things to talk about. What you mean? What you mean? And he come with me and I'm like, oh, brah, this thing what they find, brah. I'm like, no, I won't come back. Exactly. He's like, fine, I'm gonna call you back. He said the phone and make water off. I didn't even know my don't prat. He said the phone and make water off. He calls me at like what? 4, around 4. And he's like, it's in 2 hours time, it's gonna be 6. So I'm gonna finish up what I'm doing, then I'm gonna head to your place and I'm gonna wait for you to come back. Or are you gonna be back by then? I'm like, I don't think so because I got a lot of work. He's like, Grace, you ain't serious right now. We cannot do this over the phone. You know that, right? And I'm like, we can. And he's like, we cannot. I need to see you. I'm like, bruh, yeah. I'm not doing that, my G. I'm not doing that. I'm not coming home. He's like, you live there. What the hell do you mean? I'm like, I'm not coming home. Oh, because I even told him, like, right now, you are scaring me. He might be back. Stop acting like that. It's making me not answer your call. But the way he's acting, he's like, you need to come home, you're making me angry and stuff like that. And I'm like, huh? Already I'm like, Buffett, not like that. The story ate me so much that when my mom came home, I was very uneasy already. My brother is someone that wouldn't even notice because he's in the gym downstairs or he's probably just in his headphones or watching TV. He doesn't even care. So when my mom came home, I was like, and it's gonna be weird not wanting to go home after I've done my mom's birthday thingy. Not wanting to go home. So I just decided like, oh, I am my boy. She freaked out. She called my dad. My dad came home from work that night. He came even an hour early than because he comes home at 12. He came home like 11:10, 11:20. And I told my dad, I think I met a psycho and this person is aggravated, right? And this happened. And he's like, Nobody messes with my daughter. My dad got angry and my dad was like, yeah, I'm gonna call up this nigga. Where does he stay? Give me his address. Give me what. He has guns like that. That's already a red flag. Me pass kill me and me pass up what he can. And he's like, your safety's in jeopardy. Now you cannot go out. You cannot do shit. You don't want to go back home because you scared this guy's waiting for you. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. You got me scared, but you're also like, that's the thing. And that night, my dad was like, yeah. Me, I'm the low. That's what my dad said. I'm telling you now the exact words because I don't think I'll ever forget that day or how angry my dad was or what he said. He was like, me, I'm the low. So I am going to do things the best way I know how. And the best way I know how is I'm going to call out my friends because mind you, my dad was in the military, right? My dad oversees the weapons that these motherfuckers use here and at war. He oversees and creates. That's why the job they do is not something that is disclosed with people. They just, all they say is, these people oversee weapons. They make sure the weapon works right. The rifle is skiet recht, the cooler is recht. But they create whatever they create. That's a weapon that goes out in war, whatever. Especially with this Afghanistan and stuff like this, is weapons they use here. So it's that situation. Make here actually. So it's that situation. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna call up my friend. Well, his friend, the one that came, is someone that usually comes here. I know him because he eats a lot. So every time he comes here, we conversate and he eats a lot. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna call up my friend and he's gonna come. His friend didn't even take 30 minutes and his friend rocked up here. My dad's friend. And they was talking and there was Grace. The friend just walked in and it was, Grace, do you feel your life is in jeopardy? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, you don't want to go home. This person is a danger to you. What is the location of this person's house? They were ready. I will not even lie to you. They were ready to go out. They were even calling the other guys and saying, yeah, we meet here. We go out because my daughter's life is in jeopardy. This person is in possession of weapons all over the house. This person is threatening my daughter and he came into my daughter's place with a gun. Well, my dad's friend asked me because my mom was like, please, honey, we are not, because my mom calls him honey. Honey, we are not about to go and fight. Honey, please calm down. And my dad is someone that is hard to calm down, especially when it comes to issues that involve his family. It's hard to calm my dad down. He does not see things any other way but just red lights from the get-go. So it was that story and my dad was just all over the place. And then his friend, the one that came, was like, did he show you? Did he point a gun at you? Because we don't want to go hurt someone that did not point a gun at you, because that's what your father is gonna do, and then at the end of the day it ends up that we at the wrong side of the law itself. And then I said, no, he did not, but I know the bag he was having had a gun in it. It did have, because that's where his personal gun, and he had showed me that. So I was just like, yeah, this is probably how it's gonna go. Nigga was there doing the most. Then the friend calmed my dad down, and he was like, we don't want to get on the wrong side of the law. He did not yet threaten her physically with a gun. He did not mention killing her. He did not mention anything that's going to cause harm to her. Just the things that he was saying sounded like he could do something stupid, but he didn't yet, and we're not trying to take the risk. At least she's safe, and I was safe. The next day, while I'm driving with my dad and my mom, he texts me, not him, but the compound manager, like the apartment manager. He's like, we got complaints from your neighboring apartments. I even uploaded that thing. We got they said we got complaints. There's someone banging on your door saying you should come out, making stupid threats and stuff like that. We're just concerned. It's a notice of concern. If you need any protection or help, please do contact us ASAP. I told them, okay, my dad will handle the situation. I'm sorry, I'm not at home to handle the whole stuff, the thing that's happening, but I will explain once I get there. My dad called and explained to him how he understood the situation. The guy had left and stuff like that, but he's been doing it ever since the previous night and in the morning when the managers contacted me. And they were like, yeah, we believe our clients' safety is our #1 priority, so you just need to know what's going on. Let us know what's going on. We can involve the police if this is someone that's been tormenting you and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo, bruh, that didn't know for me, because I was like, my dad immediately just said, I don't feel you safe there, so it's best you move back. But he was like, yeah, I feel you should just move back. You can find another place to live, but you're moving back home for now, because this is a situation that needs healing. And we need to get over the situation, because I, as a dad, this is my father's words, I, as a dad, don't feel you safe out there. I never felt you were safe out there. If you're not in my sight, you're not safe. Unless you're in my sight, then I know you're safe. But if you're not, it's scary. So I feel you need to come back home for now until we figure out like a best place for you to live that we know is safe. But this apartment where you live right now is not safe, and I'm sorry you're coming home. I did not mind because, guys, I was scared. I was scared. My heart was in my ass the whole time. I was scared. So I just went home. I just went home. I went home immediately. Coming home, being here. He still texted me, but then I let him know that, which is a day and a half ago, I let him know that, it's probably now a full 2 days now. I let him know that we had gotten in touch with the police and you should probably stay away from me because we might have a protection order, and I don't want to show these people where your place is because it's gonna get messy and stuff like that. He stopped contacting me, but then it seems like there's someone opening a fake account countless times, watching my snaps and watching my Instagram lives and stuff like that. I'm just scared, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, whatever. There's a lot of people opening fake accounts. I would not be able to point out that person, you know. But that's basically what happened. That's how I lost this nigga that I thought would make me happy. That I thought, you know, because honestly, I won't lie to you guys. I liked him. I liked him and I saw myself next to this nigga. But it seems like he was showing me another side of him I never knew. I was just like, I asked you one question and look where we are. You are bringing guns into my personal space. How come that you want? I was just like, are you that in love? Okay, I'm pretty. I know I'm pretty. I know I steal the show. I know I do the things that needs to be done, but you are crazy. And that's a problem. It's a problem for me. I just couldn't do it because I just felt like, honestly, am I gonna put my life into jeopardy? Even though I work out things with this nigga, am I really gonna do that to myself? Am I gonna risk it again? At the end of the day, it just taught me once more that when it's a red flag, it's a motherfucking red flag. Stick to it. Don't say you like red. Even if you like red, a red flag is something else. You got to know the difference. And also the other thing that was really funny for me is he acted very gay, like I've said before. He acted a little bit too gay, calling his homeboys, oh, hi, bitch, and stuff like this. And I'm just like, oh, hey, motherfucker, yeah, bitch, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why are you guys calling each other like this? Mind you, I had asked my homegirl over here why, like, this nigga is from Louisiana. And she's like, yeah, there's a nigga from Louisiana. She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, the nigga is from Louisiana. And she's like, how does he wear his pants? I'm like, down his butt, like, hangkhat. And she's like, niggas that wear the, because hangkhat originated in prison in Louisiana itself, or in the States itself. If a guy in prison wears his drawers beneath his butt, it means he's available to be fucked. He's available to be someone's bitch and get paid for it. That's what it indicated. So niggas in Louisiana specifically, if they wear their drawers like that, it means that they're someone's bitch. That's the part that really like fucked me up the most. Because I was just like, I was ready to accept your flaws. You was just not ready to be honest with me. So I was just like, wow, okay. We all have been a bitch to someone, but you has been a hoe. Yeah. You could have been honest with me, but you did not want to be. You could have told me that you probably have mental issues, that you are someone that's bipolar, or someone that gets aggravated very fast when some people mention stuff and stuff like that, but you came off perfect to me. So I didn't understand why you'd be weird to me. I did not. So that's my first trial, my guys. This is my first trial. And all I can tell you guys is, if you do meet someone online, from overseas and stuff, I would say get to know someone. That's the safest thing you could do. Instead of just being like, yeah, he has a cute beard, he could do this, he could do that. Because, God, I was sitting with a whole auntie with me. I was sitting with a whole auntie that could braid hair and stuff. Because I did mention on my Instagram live that this nigga mentioned that he can do box braids. He can do knotless. I did mention that to you guys. And a lot of people on my Instagram. That's why I tell you guys, do follow my IG page. I'm gonna put it here down below. Follow my IG. I give a lot about stuff that's about to happen. that's about to go down. I gave a lot of the scoop on my Instagram, you know, before I bring it on my YouTube. This was this was a video that was on high demand. A lot of people wanted me to make a video because they were not part of the live video, or they came in very late and stuff like this. But if you want more videos on any other thing you might want to know about me, you can simply just you can write it down in the comment section, and I will try to talk about it on my live first, and then I can do a video. But for now, for me, that's the story. That's what I've been through, and you guys just need to be careful so you don't sit with niggas that's been fucked in the ass. So yeah, from me, Summer Go, we shall meet again.